to the instructional part of the video. Check the description box below in your YouTube player for tabs and backing tracks, on my website, information about the sound tools I'm using today, and links to other goodies via my Patreon page. Now let's learn how to play this grunge classic. The verse is mainly just going to be E and A. And so I'm going to comp the melody in my very, simple way. So, this is an E major scale, 0 and 7, 9, 11. Got this 12, 9 up there on the D string, a little 7, 6, 7. And you might sneak the A, the open A in between there. A little extra phrase there. Gonna aim way for this E up here, the 14 on my D. Classy. By the way, there's slow down gears in YouTube over here or over here, depending on what device you're on. And spacebar pauses, arrows go forward and back. So good idea if you're like, what? What did he just do? Yeah, slow it down, dude. Words to live by. Okay. And 14, and then I'm gonna get this 9 to 11, and then with my middle finger, my favorite finger, that way I can get this little keyboard part that's layered in. That's a little, kind of harmonized thirds thing. 12, 11 on the D and the G, flat at the 9 and 9, and then land on O, 11, 9. That's an A chord. And then little slidey double stop. If this is an A, which it is, 10th fret of the B string, and 9, slide it forward 2 frets and back. Here's the first phrase. Does that again, and then the only difference the second time, it goes at the end of the second phrase, 7, 6, and I think I did it with my pinky. Maybe I did it with ring. 9 to 11 again. And then I did another just, straight out of the Mike McCready, Jimi Hendrix book. If this is an E chord, which it is, you got hammer-on double stops up here, 12 and 12 on the B and the D, E. Carefully get that 14. That's just, classic. And so that's 13, 11, 12. Hammer on carefully the 13 of the G. Pinky gets the 14, which is an E. Side note. So if you have this chord, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, there's a major pentatonic scale. So side note, just so you know, every chord you've ever mashed your fingers to play has a pentatonic scale right behind it. Be it a major chord or a minor chord or even seventh chords. They're right there. They're just right there. No need to learn a bunch of crazy scales. Goes all around again. And then, and then I think the second time the melody drops in, there's that little, just kind of copying Eddie's vocal melody on the A. So, it does that, but then I snuck in a, which is again, here's an A chord, a little A major pentatonic thing. I sound like Bob Ross, just a little happy pentatonic. 9 and 11 on the D string. If you can, you get the flat on the 9 there of the G also. That careful hammer on. Get that 12 there of the A string, which is an A. And then the last guy. And I think, I think I did land him with either that or that, and then I did harmonics on the 12-12 of the B, not the G, the B and the E. Then you'll see my foot move because I kick on my analog delay, my Moleco Echo 616 dark analog delay. It's really a good magical pedal. It's greasy and dark. Yes. And simultaneously, I switched to my bridge pickup to get meaner. So I did, we could, yep. I did a pre-bend on the 3 of my B string, and then land on O and 1, which is really a C chord, because that's what the song is. Yeah, so. And then some, careful cross picking to kind of get the melody in there. E minor. Side note, you may be tempted to put a Bigsby on your Telecaster if you're looking at this beautiful Telecaster. I actually wouldn't recommend it. This one, I'm lucky, it's a factory Bigsby. This came put on, it's got the mastery bridge, which works really well. I've Bigsby'd regular Telecasters before, and it changes them too much. You got to shim the neck, and like the weight changes. Again, if somebody will disagree with me, but that's been my experience. If you want a Bigsby guitar, just get a Bigsby guitar, and know that that's going to be your Bigsby guitar. Yeah, just get more guitars. E minor. I might do a. Does it again. Different melody, 024. Oh yeah, and then I copped a little. Yeah, little things like that I love so much. So that little, I don't know who's playing that, if that's Stone or Mike. My dream is that they will see this video and approve. That'd be awesome. So that's, yeah, blues licks, 02, 020 on the G, 30. Oh yeah, side note, I like to detour sometimes. Notice I'm down here. This is a place that we ignore to play in our desire to do all the cool to cover the whole fretboard, but I argue that we should be as good down here as we are up here. So again, just a little Eric food for thought. Open position's cool too. And then, yeah. This is actually the hardest part of the arrangement. Because that is where the groove changes to being straight on the downbeat, to where Dave Cruisin, the drummer on that record, and the only time he's, only on that record, which I think is a big part why that record's awesome, he's going boom, ga, ba boom, boom, ga, ga. If you count it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's moving the accent from beat 1 to 8, or the 8th note there. So it's the rest of the song is syncopated, which that actually makes it really hard to do this. So 4, 4 on the G string, because it's really just a D chord backing up to 2. C chord, but because I'm sitting here like this, I'm just gonna go. So you still got that melody of the 2 there with the root of the C here, and then here comes that melody. What a great little sequence of notes. Epic. It's so freaking legendarily epic. There's just 0, 1, 3, 1, da da da, just little, perfect. I don't know who came up with that, but I'm sure, I know I'm digressing, I don't care. That in the moment when they were rehearsing this song, either Mike or Stone or even Eddie must have played that, and then they knew. They're like, ooh, that's the song right there. That little goes around again. And then I copped a different melody. another E minor melody, O, on the G to 4. You know, that's an F sharp. A note that, by the way, everybody forgets exists. They always forget that note's there. 4, 2, 4, 2. And then I kind of cut the song up, and now I'm working my way to Eddie's just amazing vocal outro. All the love gone bad, turn my world to black. So D chord, but with the melody is this 4th fret of the G, which is a B, and then up to 7ths, love gone bad, and then it's a C chord, so I'm seeing him, and I got 10 and 9 to 5 and 5. C chord to C chord, that's all I'm doing. Love gone bad, turn my world to black, tattooed now I see, and that time it's 5 to 7. I see never yep, it's just such a great performance on his part, and I'm sure they all knew it at the time. Okay, so yeah, when I get to that C that time, I'm using that open B. 4, 5, 4, 5, open, and then I'm like, oh shit, here comes that anticipation. I better get to this E minor 7. 7, 5, 7, which, by the way, that's our Radiohead Weird Fishes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm there. It's a D chord, but Eddie is going, yeah. So I'm copping the melody right there, that F sharp, the 9th fret, open, and then this 9 here. Why does that work? I don't know, but it does work. And then, you know, he goes, yeah, but there was just no way to do that with my fingers, so I just cop it kind of, so yeah. It's almost like a Johnny Marr guitar part now. So I'm up here on the B string with a 8 to a 7. And then, oh yeah, this is now, let's reference some more people. Josh Homme, a reduced C. You know, it's a power chord, 8, 10, nobody home, and then the 9 there. And then just the part that kills me every time I hear it, he goes up high there, woo! So yeah, this is where Eric really challenges himself to see if I can get a highly emotive and inspired vocal performance on the twangy guitar. Silly things I do sometimes. So now it's just going to be looping E minor D C, E minor D C with that rhythmic anticipation. Yeah, so big E minor, and then that is the 3rd fret of the B string. D, but now leave that top open to get another and instead of going woo like he does, I dropped it an octave. Now it sounds like War on Drugs. 2, 4, 2, 0. Hammer on this 2 here, because check it, there's a C over G. 3, 3, 2. And then the I know someday you'll have a beautiful life, and I know you'll be the sun. Somebody else's skies. Oh wait, nope. So good. I mean, come on, any Pearl Jam fan knows. They're just like, oh yeah, that's the part of the song that kills you every time. Okay, so that's actually, if you think about it, it actually starts to sound like Neil Young, Cortez the Killer. So it's just E minor with that same melody note up top, that 3rd fret of the B. Same D sus2. That sounds just like Cortez the Killer in this arrangement. Interesting. C add 9, because I'm still playing around with that same melody note, but now I had to get that C in there. And then you're still doing the same idea to an E minor. Here's that D sus2 again. And this time you might do a... And then, can it be, can it be? So that same trick, we were kind of playing around with the 4 and 5, and for whatever reason I decided to put that D in there, that third fret of the B. And again, you're using that open. And then that same maneuver from before, the weird fishes maneuver. This is maybe my favorite part of my whole arrangement of just the vibe out here, because I'm combining with the E, the D, and the C. So check it. It's actually, yeah, right hand stuff. So again, when playing down here, it's actually more of this comes into play than our usual, like, which is funny, I'm throwing shade on that, which is exactly the lesson that I just shot last week. Yeah, Eric, why are you playing so many stupid blues licks? Silly. So that's actually very hard to do cleanly. So when you land on the D, you're actually landing on D6 because the melody is inside the chord. O2, O2. Right, yeah. And then when I get to my C, it's actually this, 3. Muted out, open, open, 3. Because again, the melody is inside. I love stuff like that to hear it, you're like, that sounds nice, but to actually practice it and play it is actually quite difficult. Okay, that's the arrangement. I think I covered everything. Now is where I talk about grunge. Okay, I'm a 90s kid. I love grunge. About every year, once a year, I listen to Pearl Jam 10, Alice in Chains, Dirt, both Soundgarden, Badmotorfinger, and Super Unknown. For some reason, Nirvana's just always around, so I don't revisit those records as much. But for me, yeah, that's the stuff. And so now I'll just share some thoughts and opinions. I get bent out of shape when people make fun of Eddie Vedder's singing voice, because he is so much more than the post-grunge yarling that he inspired. But like, that's just the way stuff always works. That like, there's the originator, and then there's the crappy imitators. And like, yeah, there was a whole slew of garbage grunge in the latter half of the 90s. It was just terrible music. But listen again to Pearl Jam. Listen to all that Eddie is doing. Listen to the heart and the soul and the screams and the scratches and like the dynamic range as well as vocal range. Again, he's not a giant rock star for no reason. And by the way, there is a killer, just make your eyes piss tears version of this song. Oh, it's so sad to even just think about that there, I guess like the day or the day after Chris Cornell passed, I guess, you know, Eddie had found out and he had a gig to do, a concert somewhere, and yeah, there's floating around YouTube of Eddie doing Black solo, and he just can't even keep it together. It's just, just epic. I've used the epic, legendary, what else? I don't know. I guess that's all I want to say. That, yeah, in defense of Eddie Vedder, basically. The guy is way more, he's way more than the stuff that he inspired. The end.